Hey, how's it going? My name is Zach, as you probably already know, and yes, I look very bright today, like your shining faces. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Today, as you might see in the title, I'm talking about my 2019 movie rating system. Um, I like watching movies. I like rating movies, and so this year I decided I had to have a really solid rating system. Um, that was pretty much foolproof. Here we go, right into it. Boom. This rating system has three parts to it, and it's all kind of an equation. So I'm gonna go into part one real quick, cause I don't want this to take forever. I don't want you guys being bored. So here we go. First part is my initial reaction score, or IS. Um, this is generally just a 1 to 10 rating system where I watch a movie, instantly come out of the movie, and I'm like, boom, this is my score out of 10. But this is really based off of like a letter based system, like how you get grades in college or school. And so like a 10 out of 10 is an A, right? And like an 8.5 is a B. And a 7 out of 10, even though it's way better than a 5 out of 10, it's not average, it's still a C, right? So now, part 2, we have the resonance score, or RS. And this looks a little bit more complicated, but trust me, it's not. Pretty much it is E plus R plus S plus O, R sub R, in parentheses, plus 0.85 times C plus M plus O plus 0.8 times P times, sorry, not times, minus 0.5 X, all in parentheses, to the power of H. Yes, this is the score that really matters right here. Let's break down those variables. So, E is enjoyment, R is resonance, S is story, OR is originality, S is cinematography, M is music, O is other, P is personal, X is expectations, H is hype, and yeah, that's the variables. And now I'm going to explain them. So enjoyability is literally just how much did you enjoy the movie, and this is out of 2 points because this should all add up to 10. I didn't review it when I started recording this video, but I think I did when I made the equation. Something adds up to about 10, right? And so, 2, if it's an average movie, it gets a 1. If it's so not enjoyable, then give it a 0, or anything in between. Then we have resonance. So how long did this movie stick with you? Is there themes that really spoke to you personally? Is there something about it that lasts for a long time for you or for other people? Makes you question society, all that type of stuff. That's also added to. And then you got story. Is the story good? Did you watch it and the plot was pretty cohesive? Did it run smoothly? Was the idea cool? Yeah, that's pretty much what a story is. And it's out of 1 because while story is the main point of a movie, I feel like you gotta enjoy the movie way more, and you gotta have it stick with you way more than just the average story. Because I think there's a lot of movies, like superhero movies, that have super grand stories, and you have personal stories, like, trying to think of a movie at the moment. Like a personal, like, one-on-one movie, like Castaway, like he's his own only character, right? There's different scales of stories, so that's why I rate it as a 1. Then we got originality. This is also out of 1. I still think it's actually higher than story, but I had to make it a 1, because that would just be weird if story was less than 3 things. But originality is like, is it a breath of fresh air when you watch the movie? But yeah, let's go into cinematography, music, and other, right? So it's cinematography, right? Um, is like how a scene looks, how it's lit, the blocking, all that type of stuff. But I can also occasionally add like visual effects and stuff like that. Really depends on what kind of movie it is. Um, but yeah, cinematography. Then we have music. If the music's good, these are all rated out of 1 now. Um, if the music is good, then give it a full rating. But I mean that's self-explanatory. Then other is just, is there something in the movie that makes you just really enjoy it? Is the acting on point? Is it spectacular acting, or was there a key moment in the movie that clicked with you? And it doesn't. Maybe it's a technical thing. They got a cool shot, something like that. I don't know. That goes under other, right? If you look up here in the equation, though, it says. Sorry, I swear something moved up there, and that's just a corner in my room. Okay, so if you look up here in the equation, it's it's multiplied by 0.85, and that's because while I think these things are important, I don't think it really draws away from a movie if you can't really notice how good it is. Like for example, um, Blade Runner 2049 had great cinematography. I love that movie, right? That was such a gorgeous movie to watch. But then you take, I don't know, literally any other movie, and you watch it, and it's definitely shot well. Like you can't see any problems with it. It's just, it's still a great movie. It's just maybe the cinematography is not as grand as Blade Runner, right? But that's why I have at 0.85, because cinematography is good. It's just not important as much. Personal, down here, P, that's actually out of 1.5. I didn't write down on here, but it's also multiplied by zero point 0.8, which is like a 1.2 max. I think I did that math correctly. I don't know. I did this a while back, so who knows? But the personal is just, did it really connect with you? This can be like, did the movie bring nostalgia to you, or something like that, or like, was there characters in that movie that made you think about your life and you connected with them a lot? Then we have expectations, right? So expectations is multiplied by 0.5, but it can only be a 0 or a 1. It can't be anything in between. And that's because I actually just watched a movie that was different than what I was expecting, right? I thought it was like a comedy, but it was actually super sad for some reason. And I don't know, that really just hurt my overall opinion of the movie. Like if I had went in thinking, oh, it's a sad movie, then I think it would have been better. But my expectations of the movie just was really crushed kind of after I watched the movie. And it doesn't affect so much. It would be like minus zero point 0.5 out of a 10-point thing. But I had to add that in there because that's happened to me a couple times where I just it took away from the movie because of my expectations. And that's why I try not to have expectations going to a movie. But that's impossible to not have expectations, especially with the internet and all that type of stuff. Then we go into hype. And that is my hype factor, right? That is an exponent. It is at 1 plus or minus 0.05. You only use this, though, when the score, this total, is either 8 or less. You can't use it over 8. This is when the hype is different than your view of the movie. For example, Guardians of the Galaxy, everybody thought it was such an amazing movie, and I'm in the minority here, but I did not like it at all. Like it was terrible, and I think I disliked it even more because everybody thought it was so good. Like I couldn't figure out why people liked it. Um, the factor here is 0.05, so it's not gonna like get docked crazy amounts, but it's an exponential one. So if it's really bad, you know, it's getting points docked. But there's a condition. You can only use this score, or you can only use this factor when your score, this score, is 25% different from the Rotten Tomatoes score, which also right here is a weighted average of 0.6 times critic score plus 0.4 times audience score. But yeah, this is the resonance score, guys. This is the resonance score. I will create my score of a movie like 1 week after I watch it, so that I can get I can fully absorb what I had seen and give it time to marinate in my brain. And that brings us to our last section, which is the true movie score. This is the weighted average score of the initial reaction times 0.35 plus 0.6 times the resonance score. While I think my initial reaction score is generally in the ballpark, I don't view it as the highest opinion. Like even if it's my opinion, I think over a week, my views of a movie definitely change, and so I'm only make it like 0.35. Wait, I don't know. I'm forgetting my words right now, but you know what I mean. Like I think the more sophisticated equation definitely helps you think about a movie critically and how much you actually enjoyed it, all that type of stuff. Yeah, that's an anticlimactic third part of an equation, but with all that together, you get the Zach score. That's what I'm calling it. You know, I'm trademarking that. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. If you didn't, well, dislike. I don't care. But if you do, if you did like that, definitely use it for yourself. Try it out. I like movies. You probably like movies, or else you're not watching this. I'm messing up here. But if you did like it, definitely like, because I do care. I do care. And if you really liked it, subscribe. And let me know what you've watched and what movie ratings you'd give those movies, because I gotta watch some movies this year. I'm gonna be rating some movies this year. Yeah. Thanks for being here, guys. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you watched this. Have a wonderful day, guys. Catch you around.